Lions TV, we are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors on the back balls behind me. If you are going to do a bit of business, then please keep it in the Millwall family and check out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. Now this is, as you can probably tell, I'm smiling, a post-match analysis video for yesterday's 2-0 long-awaited home win over West Bromwich Albion at the Den. A great performance, a win we desperately needed. Let's start out by taking a look at the 11 that Neil Harris picked to start the match. So we were unchanged from the team that lost 3-2 at Leeds the week before, and I think it was the right decision. It's a good side for us. It's near on our best side in my opinion, and it was good of the gaffer to show faith in the players. I think it proves that, you know, although we've lost 2 of our last 3 games, one of them in the Cup, it showed that performances were going in the right direction, that we was playing teams, you know, at the top end of our division or the lower end of the Premier League, and he did the right thing in my opinion, Neil Harris, to keep faith in those players. It was Dave Martin in goal, Marlon Romeo right back, James Meredith left back, Jake Cooper with Alex Pearce skipper in the side alongside him. It was a central midfield 3 with Ben Thompson, Ryan Tunnicliffe and Ryan Leonard. It was Jed Wallace wide right, it was Ben Marshall wide left, and then up front as a lone striker it was Lee Gregory, who couldn't hit a barn door with a dart yesterday. But yeah, listen, the game started out, it was a little bit cagey, a little bit quiet early on, but we got into the game, and once we did, we was a dominant side yesterday. We did have a stroke of luck, but it was no more than we deserved the victory. You know, in recent weeks and in general, you know, we like to think as Millwall fans, oh, the ref was against us, oh, we just don't have no luck, and I don't like to say stuff like that, but it does seem the case. The ref was out without doubt yesterday, and some strange decisions from him. So we started the game well, and I'm going to put out there early, Ryan Tunnicliffe, for me, just picked Ben Thompson for man of the match. Ben Thompson probably actually played better in the second half, definitely. He was superb, he was unplayable at times. But for me, Ryan Tunnicliffe, for these people who say Tunnicliffe does work off the ball. You can't have players in a Millwall side, a side that his whole basis and his whole structure of existence is kick, bollock and bite and fights to the death. You know, you can't have a player doing unnoticed work in that team. And yesterday, if he does the work, I'll notice it, because like or not, I do know what I'm looking at. Ryan Tunnicliffe, from the start of the match, was superb. He was winning balls, he was distributing the ball well, he was getting around the pitch and making important interceptions and making a difference to the game. So fair play to Tunnicliffe. And it was through Ryan Tunnicliffe we took the lead on 30 minutes. We get our bit of luck, a shot from distance. Sam Johnson, who I think is a brilliant goalkeeper, just shows it can happen to the best of them, because he was shaky all day yesterday, and he sort of dives. He should be going to his left, not his right, but he dives the wrong way, and then almost beyond the ball, it squirms in. As I say, we get our little bit of luck, and we take the lead into half-time. We come out the second half, and you know, West Brom come out as they're going to. They're a team, 4th in division, sitting comfortably for the playoffs. I did like that about it yesterday. There wasn't, you know, they're not going to make the top 2, but they're not going to fall out of the playoffs. So, regardless of the result yesterday, and you know what, yesterday there wasn't a great side, West Brom. And the talent on the pitch they had in Jake Livermore, Dwight Gow, Rodriguez, to name a few, Sam Johnson, great goalkeeper, as I said, they was non-existent. You wasn't even aware of the players, of the capabilities and the Premiership games they've got under their belt that were out there. And I think, you know, not that West Brom were that bad, I just don't think we give them a chance to play. We played very well, but in the second half, in the early stages, they came onto us and they get a penalty. I've seen it back. It's a stonewall penalty from Jake Cooper, and if you look at Alex Pearce's reaction, Alex Pearce does his absolute bollocks at Cooper, which he was entitled to. It was clumsy from Cooper, and it was a penalty. Rodriguez takes it, Dave Martin goes the right way, saved one last week at Leeds, it goes wide. If you actually watch the replay, Dave Martin goes the right way and he pulls his hand away. So, I said to Mini earlier, if that's me, I'm just saving it for the plaudits and giving away a corner. But Dave Martin, the evergreen professional, you know, he could have saved it, but he pulls his hand away, doesn't need to save it, and we get our second bit of luck of the day. I've got to say, I'll move on to the players in a minute, but you could hear Dave Martin out there. You can see he wants to pay for the club. He's a proper man, you know. He's a proper pro, and he's everything we've needed in goal for a long time. And the mistake, luckily, now against Brighton is a thing of the past. So we move on again, and not only have we had 2 bits of luck already, we now get our 3rd bit of luck. We start to get a little bit back into the game. A sort of a nothing ball up in the air from Jed. Ben Thompson chases it, just doesn't give it up. He's everything, you know, that epitomises Millwall. What a player. And he cuts the ball back I see the replay, it goes off clearly. It should be a goal kick. That goal shouldn't have stood. They missed the penalty, and our first goal is a keeper mishap. But from that point on, we was superb going forward. And Steve rightly said to me in his fan cam that today has shown that we've got the players to play football. We was, Ben Thompson, I keep going on about him, but it seems to be that missing link between the forward and the midfield. They was playing lovely little short interchanging passes. And we was getting up the pitch lovely. Yesterday, going through the team, Dave Martin had a very assured game, just commanding, fills me with confidence, and I'm sure that sort of breathes into the other players and the defence around him. One good save from him, so well played to Martin. Romeo, still shaky for me, Romeo. I remember he done a header in the second half and the ball's gone up in the air. Yeah, listen, I love Marlon. I want him to succeed, and he will get better with age, but his defending worries me at times. Yesterday, James Meredith, I've hammered Meredith lately. Not hammered him, I just speak my mind and I see it, tell it how I see it. Meredith was superb yesterday. His distribution has never been good, even when he was a top player for us. But yesterday, Meredith was back to near his best, chomping at people's ankles, solid defending, which is exactly what you need. And fair play to Meza, he deserves to keep his place. The two centre-halves, Cooper's tailed off a bit, but I think because Cooper was doing so well, we was expecting a lot more from Cooper. But he stopped winning those headers going forward, I've noticed. He keeps jumping too early. Remember Malcolm Allen back in the day, he was so short, played up front for us, and because he knew he couldn't win any headers, he jumped early to try and distract the centre-half. And I find Cooper doing that a lot now. He keeps jumping for headers too early in an attacking sense. And maybe I'm being harsh on him, but I think other teams have worked, they're making him their focal point when we've got attacking corners. But defensively, yeah, he didn't have the greatest of games, Cooper, but for me, he's still got to be our number one choice. Alex Pearce, skipper the side. Again, a player that looks like, if you looked at him and didn't know his history, you'd think he'd been at Millwall years. He seems like, a veteran of the club. You can see what it means to him. The passion he's showing and the commitment to win the games. He's everything you want your skipper to be. The midfield three, and I've buried Tunnicliffe and I've buried Leonard lots of times in the past. I thought Tunnicliffe was man of the match yesterday. I think probably, as I said, Thompson was better in the second half, but for the reason that I have buried Tunnicliffe in the past and I don't always see the best in him, for me he was outstanding yesterday, and exactly what that midfield three was pivotal for us yesterday. They were the main reason we won that game. Thompson superb. Even Ryan Leonard, he does the occasional, give it away a couple of times, but he does run his bollocks off, and you can't knock him for that. So well done to the midfield three, and if you play well, I'll say you played well. Wide players, this may be a slightly unpopular opinion. They both worked their bollocks off. Ben Marshall done lots and lots of fruitless running yesterday. He did a lot of tracking back. He seemed to be struggling for pace a bit at times. Maybe the West Brom right back did have a lot of pace. But Marshall really put it in yesterday. He's got a lovely passing range, as we know. But I still think I'd like to see him central alongside Tunnicliffe and Thompson. Marshall, I still, he's more of a ball player. He's not a left midfielder. He's never played left midfield at any club he's ever been at. Only us. So, but he done lots of hard work yesterday, Ben Marshall. A lot of work that would go unpraised, just tracking back and getting stuck in back on our touch lines and out wide. Jed Wallace did and always does do the same, and I love Jed Wallace. And I don't want to say it, but his passing, his distribution isn't great. And I reckon 50% of the time, Jed's passes and crosses actually go where they should. The other times he kicks it off, he passes it and gives away possession, which is a shame because, and if he had that 100% hit ratio, again, he probably wouldn't be playing for Millwall, but he's running superb, he gives everything, he wants to play for the club, he's exciting, he shows signs and flashes of absolute brilliance, like inventiveness, tricks on the ball. He's brilliant to watch at times, but his distribution isn't great. It is 50-50 with Jed's distribution, in my opinion. He doesn't, only 50% of what he tries comes off passing-wise and crossing-wise, and it is a shame, and maybe he will improve on that again, but you can't fault him and his effort. Up front, Lee Gregory, loving it to death. Couldn't hit a barn door with a dart yesterday. He had a chance in the first half that he put over the bar. Okay, that come through bodies. The one in the second half, he has to be scoring it. He has to be scoring it. He puts it, and Sam Johnson makes probably his only save of the day after he fumbled Ben Thompson's original shot. But listen, by the by, that's the player ratings thrown in. I was going to do a separate VT, but there you go. That's my thoughts on the players yesterday. Man of the match, as I said, has to be Tunnicliffe, with a Thompson a close second, and James Meredith probably third. Defending our lead. Now, again, I'll go on to defending leads, and Harris has had grief in the past for making substitutions. And I've backed that. I backed that theory and that idea of, okay, we're 2-0 up with 10 minutes left. Let's make 3 substitutions in 3, drag them out and try and kill the game off. I'll back that, and maybe I was wrong, because yesterday we brought Aiden on, who I thought did well when he came on, because what Aiden did is he retained the ball. We kept the ball. Don't need to make subs. Kill the game off with the football at your feet, and we did lots of little interchanging. They was down to 10 men, granted, but we just kept the ball very well, taking it into sensible areas. Our game management, as Lee said in his fan cam, was absolutely spot on. And if you keep the ball, the other team can't score a goal, obviously. That's obvious to a blind man, but we kept it very, very well. We closed the game out very, very well. And it did seem to me, they did it so well towards the end of the game, that it must be something that they've been working on in training. And it was needed, because it was beyond the joke. And now I think Harris has sat down and thought, the stats don't lie, all these goals, everyone's putting all over Twitter that if every game finished in the 80th minute, where we'd be in the table, how many more points we'd have. And I think they've sat down, they've worked on it, and they got it spot on yesterday. Aiden came on, just kept the ball, little triangles, keeping it in the right areas, getting it into wide areas in an attacking sense, deep in the West Brom half. And we closed the game out brilliantly. Well done, Gaffer. Well done to the players. And long may it continue. I predicted a win. I was convinced of a win yesterday. Unfortunately, also predicted that Rotherham will beat Forest. I had a funny feeling. I could see us and Rotherham getting out of it in a minute. If we beat QPR on Wednesday, which we have to, and in my opinion we will do, they're dragged massively into the shit QPR. So we was discussing it yesterday. It gets towards the end of the season. People are on their phones looking through what the league table will be if results stay the same. And the fella in front of me got spot on. He said, listen, don't fucking worry about everyone else. We can only do what we can do. And I'm convinced, well, if we keep playing like that, we'll keep winning games, and there's no way we'll go down. So hopefully we have turned the corner right at the last minute, and we can stay in this division. It is much needed. Brilliant win yesterday. Brilliant win today as well for the boys. VCD under-12s made the final of the Shield. Get in there. So it's been a long time since we've had a win double on a Saturday and a Sunday for Millwall and VCD. It's a good weekend in Lions TV Towers, I won't lie to you. I'll be back tomorrow for a pre-match prediction, because we are at home to Queen's Park Rangers on Wednesday. Fuck the red button. Let's get down the den. Let's get behind the boys, and let's steer clear of this relegation zone. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.